when we say we think it starts up front, we mean it. These guys, so
yeah,
that's right. Obviously, we're pleased to start conference play with a win last weekend and be able to approach the week coming off that victory is certainly a positive. New Mexico had the weekend open, so they've had the extra week to prepare for us, and I'm sure they made good use of that time. Just kind of paying attention to what they've said in their lead up to this game. Looks like they're approaching this like a major game on their schedule, which, for the conference opener for each team, it should be. New Mexico does a lot of things on both offense and defense that are problematic with their scheme. So we'll have to have a good week of practice and get a lot of film work and all that stuff so we can keep up to their option game in particular.
Casey Carroll, you did a good job against him last year. What can you take away from that will help for this week?
We played well against him last year. We played a good game, and I'm not sure it has all that much to do with this year's game, other than the fact that we have seen some of the guys on our team have played against their offense and their defense. So there is some familiarity. Anytime you get into these conference opponents that you've played against before and have some history with, I think there's a little added incentive and all those things. And I've played both ways too.
What is it about him that concerns you the most?
Just he's a good player. We were just talking about him upstairs. He's good with the ball, and he's a good player. He's got good vision. He's got playmaking ability.
I don't know how much you've broken down their tape, but how similar or dissimilar is their offense, this year compared to where they were at last year?
It's the same scheme. Yeah.
And they don't throw it anymore that you can tell or anything like that.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's their offense. They're doing their thing.
What did Pitt do to shut them down so easily?
I don't know. They got 29, didn't they?
They had like 58 yards at halftime, 388 to 50-something. Carrier had like 23 yards rush.
Yeah, I've been watching cut-ups to this point, so I don't know. I know they got 29 on them.
Coach, from the outside looking in, could you make an argument that this is maybe your most important game to date as head coach at UNLV?
They're all important. Every week it's the most important game. It's the most important game in the country. It's the most important game ever. That's how it is in football. There's only 12 of them.
Do you feel like maybe you're at a tipping point, though, with this season, one way or another?
No.
How important would it be to get that first road win, to get that behind you?
I don't know. Kind of go like what I said to Scott. They're all important, so it's important.
Looks like they're rolling with a two-quarterback system now with Gauch and Mitchell. So he's the passer. We haven't gotten that far into it just yet, but both guys have played quite a bit. I don't know which one will play against us. I like them both. I think they both run the system well, so they're a little different from one another. Gauch is a big, physical, athletic, fast kid, and number 12's looks to be a little bit faster.
You said last week you obviously have had experienced 2 wins in a row. You obviously have played for national championships. When I saw you with your kids come out the field on Saturday, you obviously were very, wanting to be emotional with them and what it meant for them. Can you speak to the same thing about the road? Would you like to see them be able to board a plane on Saturday with that feeling that you know, but yet they don't?
Yeah, sure. It's like I always say, football's every game's big. For our guys, it's exciting to be around them. That's really a good question for these guys, frankly. But yeah, I'm a proponent of our players. They've worked awful hard, and I want to see them succeed.
You've not, correct me if I'm wrong, gotten on a plane after a win. So,
No.
If that were to happen, can you both speak to what you think that would mean to you? Not just getting a third win in a row, but just kind of ending this talk about a road losing streak and not having to answer that all the time having played here.
Like Coach Hauck said, every game is important, and we approach it the same way. But I mean, obviously, you want to get on a plane after a win, and kind of you can celebrate a little bit. But I mean, losing's never fun at home or on the road. So I mean, we want to do our best to win and just celebrate after.
As it both said, like we take every game individually, as if they're all important, like you said. Personally, I'm not too worried about streaks. I'm not too worried about that type of thing. But I mean, it does feel good to go on the road with some confidence. And that's for any player, any team.
Coach, what would a win Saturday say about the progress you're making as a program?
I think it says we're 3-2 with 7 games to go. Sorry, I'm not much real cooperative on this today, Scott, but that's how I feel. Gets us to 3-2.
Tyler, would it validate, getting over the hump, getting over 500, the work you guys are putting in, and what would it say about where this team's at?
Truthfully, it's still an early point in the season. So, I mean, we can lose the rest of the games or we can win the rest of the games. We just want to play each game to win. And that's basically the main point that we're getting at as a team.
Brett, do you put any stock in kind of getting over 500, from a confidence point of view, or being able to, kind of look at yourself in the standings and see that, that victory total a little higher?
I mean, we got a bunch of guys in the locker room who want to win, and they want to compete every game. So, I mean, we just approach it like that.
Well, I mean, I think you felt going into the season that the defensive line was maybe among the most improved parts of the team. Do you think it's kind of played out that way?
They've played well up front on defense, so we're a little more veteran there than we've been in past years. I mean, Tyler can speak to the fact that he's a different player than he was 3 years ago, and a couple years ago as a true freshman, true sophomore trying to play in there. He's played really well the last couple of weeks, probably the best of anybody in his position group. But that group, 8 of them have been playing a substantial number of snaps and been pretty productive. And big week for it, too, this week. Sorry. No, you're fine.
Tyler, when you have 2 deep across the line like that, how much better does it make it for you where you can be fresh whenever you're on the field?
Well, every player wants to play, for one. Being able to breathe, especially in the up-tempo type of offenses and things like that, it keeps you fresh, definitely keeps you fresh. It allows you to perform at your highest capability every play, and that's the type of thing that we coach. As far as the 2-deep thing, I like it. Yeah.
I'll ask you what I asked Coach earlier about Casey Carrier. You guys did a good job against him last season. Is there stuff in that tape that can apply to this game, maybe some tendencies or anything, or is it just a completely different situation?
We will study the film. I'm sure we'll find something that we can tip off of, but we'll play him as if he's the best quarterback in the nation. And that's really how we scout every team, every player. We won't underlook anything. We won't overlook anything. We won't underestimate him as a player. He's on scholarship just as well as we are.
Tyler, what's changed from 2 weeks till now about this team?
About the team?
Yeah, from 2 weeks ago after that loss to Arizona to now.
Confidence. You have some good plays under your belt. You have emotion. You have cohesiveness, which comes from that type of thing. Hopefully, the team just keeps it going.
Brett, same question for you.
I mean, like I said before, we got a bunch of guys in the locker room who want to play together, and we all want to win. So I mean, it's a growing thing throughout the year, and we're just trying to make the most of it by approaching each game one by one and put out our best effort.
When, if ever, have you mentioned the streak to them?
Is that what it is?
23. Okay, do you talk about it, or because you've said in the past, all the difference is you're in a different bed and you're eating different food. Everything else is kind of
actually we're eating the same food.
Well, maybe eating the same food, maybe taste
so.
But I mean, do you talk to them about it at all?
No, they're aware of it. You guys talk enough for everybody, so they're aware. Yeah. No, we everybody's aware that we want to win on any given Saturday, home or road. So we have X amount of time, and to me that's wasted air. We just need to go play well.
How agitated are you to answer these questions about the streak?
I'm not really agitated. I'd be throwing the table around if I was agitated. I'm good.
Does it loom over the program, though? I mean, you can see right now, obviously, you're ready to get it over with, obviously.
Well, I've been ready since the first day, 3 years ago. So, I mean, it's what it is. We can either put it to rest this weekend or wait till we travel again. So, be nice not to have to answer these questions in 4 weeks or whatever it is. So.
Do you find the consistency finally over 2 games at the quarterback position, Bobby? Caleb's had 2 good games now. You said you were looking for that consistency. Have you found that?
Well, like you said, it's been 2 weeks, so it's been good the last 2 weeks, and hopefully those guys keep progressing. And the goal is to get better as a team, and in order to do that, we have to get better as individuals, and hopefully both our quarterbacks continue to improve.
You made him a game-time decision. Is he going to start?
We're going to keep competing it. That's probably the way it's going to be through the year.
How much do you think you do read option in your offense now?
We've got some of it. I mean, it's not – these guys are 3 different variations, truly triple option. So, I mean, it's not – this is more – if you were to compare New Mexico to – or us to somebody, I mean, New Mexico's more like Air Force than they are like Arizona. And, our stuff is more run-of-the-mill read option stuff. It's not triple.
With Caleb in there, it seems like he's more read option quarterback, more mobile. Can you get more out of the offense with him in there?
I mean, it's there. Again, it a lot of that stuff depends on what the defense is going to give you and the looks and how they choose to play it. But it's always there.
You compared the New Mexico to Air Force. How similar are they to Air Force?
Well, it's the structure's different, but a lot of the concepts are the same. But it's triple. They're exactly the same in terms of it's triple option offense. I mean, there's 2 reads on the play, and he's pulling it. A lot of the time he's got both a pull read and a pitch read, and they do it very well.
Tyler, you mentioned confidence a couple of times. Is there just a different feeling for you and your teammates right now when you just walk around these halls or just kind of walk on campus?
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. You get a lot of handshakes after a win compared to a loss. Between the team, you can see everybody has that bright feeling about them. They're ready to get into the week. Nobody's slouching around. Everyone's hitting the weights hard. You're entering the week with a different mindset, the mindset of a winner, as opposed to we just lost and we have another week coming. So,
Bobby, to have a game with no penalties as a coach, can you just describe what that's like? And I mean, obviously, with this team that had their issues in the past.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty disciplined team. I think we've got smart players, and they are growing in their understanding of how officials call the game. And, I just think that shows some growth for our guys. I mean, in terms of like a week ago, we had 3 penalties, and all 3 of them were by guys who were playing in their 3rd college football game. The older guys are really grasping how to get the job done and do it cleanly. So that was good. I was excited about it, certainly.
How big is that for a team? Obviously, like you said, not to have setbacks.
Well, when you don't get penalized a bunch, and there's plenty of teams that like the 49ers were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, I think, and played in the Super Bowl. So some teams have the ability to overcome that, and it's just kind of how they play a little bit. But when you don't get penalized, you don't turn the ball over, you take it away a few times, you run the ball for almost 300 yards, your chances of winning are probably pretty good.
Have you ever coached a game before where your team didn't get called for one?
A couple of guys asked me that this morning, and I don't remember. I don't remember. I can't recall. Been close a few times. I don't know if we've ever had 0 or not. There had to be one in there somewhere. I hope.
For Brett and Tyler, you mentioned this game is another game. You approach each game like it's the most important game or whatever. But realistically, isn't this one a little bit more important considering Bobby's never won 3 games. You're on the road. You have a chance your favor. This is a chance to really do something and kind of get you maybe on a little bit of a roll. I mean, you can't look at it and say, well, it's just another game. It's just the next game on the schedule because it actually is realistically probably a little more important than just an average game, isn't it?
Once you get the taste of winning in your mouth, I mean, you don't want that to stop, like that celebration in the locker room afterwards. So we're going to go out there and try and do the same thing that we've done. And, I mean, it's not about streaks. It's about getting the job done on the Saturday.
I believe this game would mean a lot to the team, but not so much of a streak thing. It would just be more of a confidence thing, like I said. Adding another win means you're closer to a bowl game. It means that we're closer to team goals. And I think that's the most important thing rather than the streaks.
Bobby, because of the way you've won the past 2 games, do you think this team's in a better mindset than previous teams going on the road?
I would hope so. As these guys have mentioned, winning's a good tonic for everything. Losing's hard to deal with, especially in our game. And I've said it a couple of different ways today, but like the baseball team plays 80 games. You lose when you go play tomorrow. Football, it's a grinding sensation when you don't win, and it's very uplifting when you do. It's an emotional game. It's supposed to be played that way, and so when you lose, it takes some mental toughness to come back, and it's certainly a lot easier to go to work for these guys on Monday when they're coming off a win.
Looking back in Minnesota, it was kind of like just the little things kind of blew the game wide open. Is it just a matter of eliminating those and make sure to keep the game close?
Yeah, I felt like we were really competitive in the Minnesota game. I think Ed asked the question on Saturday about the scores when the defense wasn't on the field. And, those mistakes become big mistakes when they add up to points. And certainly we can't do that home or road. But those things tend to become exponential, I think, on the road a little bit when the home crowd's into it, which they will be this weekend.
Brett, how much confidence does the offensive line have right now, considering you had a game with 0 penalties and pretty much almost had 300 yards, open holes for the running backs, almost 300 yards rushing?
I mean, obviously we're happy about that, but we're not complacent with that. We want to keep getting better, and I mean, obviously we want to keep that no penalty thing there. But I mean, we want to rush for more yards. We want to give Caleb or Nick more time in the pocket. I mean, that's just things we got to get better on each week.
I mean, you see similarities in the New Mexico program. We kind of asked you the same thing last year about where you guys are trying to go.
Yeah, how you get there is always different depending on who's trying to steer the ship a little bit. But I was looking at. I've got their depth chart in front of me because I hate referring to guys like I referred to Clayton Mitchum as 12 a minute ago. I should know his name, but trying to familiarize ourselves with them. They've got 7 junior, senior starters on offense and 10 on defense. They're a pretty veteran team, and they're doing a lot of good things. They're in games. A year ago, they won early and then didn't win late. So it's competitive to get victories for all of us. So that's one of the great things I think, just in terms of the Mountain West is. Obviously Boise's been a little better than everybody for some time now, but within the league in general, it's really competitive to get those wins on any given Saturday. And for me, I really look forward to the conference part of the schedule.
Do you have an update on Sullivan or the Keys brothers?
No, I don't right now. I don't. As of Monday, 2/19. Try to keep you posted this week.
What about Gaston?
I'm going to try to do an injury report tomorrow at some point when it's got a chance to be quasi-accurate.
What do you think about Scoggins' performance in this place?
He graded out pretty well. Nick was graded out the highest of all the offensive linemen before he got banged up. So, I feel decent about that spot, regardless of who goes there. I feel confident in both those guys.
Coach, is it all your years of experience as a head coach and so forth that you hate
Making
to
me
be
sound
too,
like an old guy, man.
that you hate to be too much of a rah-rah kind of a guy, like in terms of, hey guys, this one really is, a special game beyond just the next one. I mean, is it? Is that kind of?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think from within we treat every game like it's the Super Bowl. I hope, the idea that one game would be, they all count the same. So the idea that one game would be more important than the other one. There's one game on our schedule that's more important than all the other ones. And we're playing that one up in Reno in a few weeks, and that's all I'll say about that. But, every game's important. There's one on our schedule that's a little bit more important than the others.
From a confidence perspective, playing so well last time out and then going on the road where you guys have had problems, what does that do for your team mentally, as far as trying to get over that hump?
Well, it's football. We'll go see. But, I think the attitude in our locker room and in our offices and our meeting rooms is really good. It was pretty dang good after the Minnesota game, But we just need to approach each week positively, attack the week, as I like to say, and then try to win that week because that's all we get. So we've got to go play hard, play well, and see if it'll be good enough. And if you execute, if you play well, you play hard, and the other team beats you, and they're better. That's fine. We can all live with that. That's part of being in competition. The other team wins sometimes because they make their plays. But for us, if we let down in any one of those areas, meaning our effort, our attitude, or our execution, then shame on us. But if they just beat us, then good for them.
Bobby, obviously a lot of folks on their rushing attack. You've got to feel really good going in with what you have, with what Tim's done. And obviously we always talk about the aforementioned Shaq Moo. Right?
Yeah.
Our famous.
Yeah,
Shaq Moo.
our depth at running back's pretty solid. Obviously we had 4 guys last week and rushed for almost 300 yards, and 2 different guys had multiple touchdowns. I like the way we're playing in the run game right now, for sure.
Is this the most satisfied you've been in about 3 years since you've been here?
Never time to be satisfied till recruiting's over in February. So, yeah, that's my answer.
I did hear you say on the postgame show that you loved the look of your team, though, and you really felt like, when you guys took the field, that you had a chance week in and week out. So, even if you're not satisfied, is this the most confidence you've had in the guys you're putting on the field?
Yeah, I think this is the best we've best in terms of ability and physical prowess, knowing the game, all those things that we've been in our time here. So it's when we get off the bus, we look the part. We look like a Division I college football team in our uniforms.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.